Three, two, one. Hey, it's Wild Josh, and I'm joined by Kyle, Chase, and Ezra, and we're going to talk about what we want from the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Now, let's get geeky.
I'm not actually up yet on the screen because I'm good at my job. There we are. Hello.
Oh, we were up?
We were up, Chase.
Were we?
Yeah, now we're not.
Oh, wait. Yeah, but you actually started talking or not.
I did things backwards. It's fine. We're here. Hello.
Oh, so were we just talking about football the whole time muted, but they could see our faces?
I thought I had the other one up, but I don't know. Anyway, hello.
All right, cool.
There you go. Yeah, so Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out Friday, which is the
19th.
19th. And I thought it would be a good idea to talk about what we hope to get from this series. I think it's easy to say for us, we started on WandaVision very high, and high, came down a little bit, and then boom, really low. We did not really care for the ending of WandaVision. So what are we hoping for from Falcon and Winter Soldier? I actually thought about what I want from this series, and there's two things that I want, but I don't want to take your guys' things because I end up doing that sometimes. So if someone else wants to start, let's have them start. Right. But there's two things I specifically want, or maybe three, but kind of three.
So I.
What? What did you say? I missed it.
I said hot Leia.
Hot Leia.
I want this show to have the same vibe that the early seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did. I think I liked Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. overall as a show, but I think it overall did better when it was a little bit more grounded and there wasn't space and time travel. But so yeah, I want it to just be like I want it to be like souped up secret agents kind of, rather than full on Avengers level stuff. So I don't want the bad guy to be extraterrestrial. I don't want him to be another super soldier type. I want him to be a bad guy with a lot of money, like a Lex Luthor or a Tony Stark.
That's right. We don't need poverty going on with our villains.
No, how dare they be poor? You can't buy you can't buy good help without money, Kyle. And you need henchmen to fill out the first 7 episodes. That way, for the 8th episode, you have a grand finale. No, but yeah, that's kind of the vibe I want. As I want it to feel like a secret agent show more than like a superhero movie, I guess.
What about Ezra or Kyle? So Chase, you didn't take mine, so I'm happy. Mine still exists. Yeah.
So I'll agree with Chase. I want it to be more grounded in realism, and just I need a break from cosmic, and a break from the magical. Just some straight up grounded in realism fun. And I think other than that, I would really like, and this is for me, just because I like the Captain America comics. I would like, because I know they're bringing Batroc the Leaper back, I would like him to be campy and kind of fun. And if you can do it without being racially insensitive, I would like him to have like a really honky French accent, because that's how I imagine Batroc the Leaper would sound.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have a comment saying, have you guys heard the rumor of Omega Red joining Sam and Bucky?
I have not.
I think that movie would literally have to come out first.
I was going to say, Omega Red was the character that is what's the guy from Stranger Things character in?
Yeah.
He's the guy from Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
David
something or Hopper.
Interesting.
I don't think this was definitely not the show they planned on introducing him in.
I would be surprised.
They
but,
planned
I
on
mean, they did
introducing him
plan
in
on-
Black Widow because Black Widow was supposed to come out like a year ago now.
Yeah.
So I really doubt he'll be in the show.
Except Ezra. Except if.
Except-
How long does this show go? It's 8 episodes.
I think
I think so.
8
Okay,
or
that's
9.
gonna take us. That's gonna take us into May. So, do we know when?
Oh, it's only 6 episodes.
We don't have a date yet.
It's only 6 episodes.
Oh.
Yep.
So did they? Do we know if they pushed Black Widow back beyond the May 4th?
Oh, beyond the May. It says May 7th.
7th. Sorry, 6 weeks is going to be pretty tight to include Omega Red, if that's what they're trying to do, because if they want that story to fit canonically, let's see, all right, episodes 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, I wonder if they're going to keep Omega Red in the story, if he's really going to be in there. If
I just pulled
yeah,
up. I just pulled up Black Widow's IMDb, and David Harbour's character is Red Guardian. So is Omega Red maybe a completely different character, or is it just like a different name for
When
Red
I
Guardian?
did the Googles, it says something most commonly in association with X-Men.
So our
Omega Red
commenter-
was ranked as IGN's 95th greatest comic book villain of all time.
Am I
So-
getting like characters mixed up here?
It sounds like
I
we're
think
getting
it might be.
characters mixed up.
Yeah, we
Okay.
are.
So it
Yeah.
looks like
I
we're
know
talking
Omega Red.
villain, not hero side.
Sorry, Belboo. We Belboo, one of our
Is it-
commenters, just said she was hoping to see some mutants. So
Yes.
yeah, I think she's not talking about Red Guardian. She's talking about a different character that we were confused about. Omega Red.
Yeah, so the 6 weeks to, and then
I have
2
not
weeks to
heard
play
that from her.
Widow don't matter if we're dealing with a different character.
It
Uh,
should be cool to get into mutants.
If they have red in their name, are they automatically associated with Soviet Russia?
Throw you.
Let's see. This guy seems like he is.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, I mean his name
Yeah.
is
Oh, I was thinking of the
Grigorovich.
other communist. Whoopsie, my bad.
Apologies.
This guy has like whips that come out of his hands.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Whiplash.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Kind of, except they look like they come out like almost like Wolverine's claws come out.
So
Well,
yeah,
They-
if you
so,
guys remember,
Scratch everything I said about Black Widow. I was thinking about Red Guardian when you
Yep,
said
same
you're
here. My bad.
So sorry about that. I will say I am salty about Black Widow not having released yet. I'm salty that they didn't at least give us some ties to X-Men in WandaVision. So
Well, they kind of did.
so I don't know
No,
if you
we
guys
didn't.
remember back to the one we did, the who could be the next Marvel big baddie, and Ezra had that power list. So I actually have the stats pulled up for Red Guardian, not Red Guardian, Omega Red, one of the Reds. So he has a 5 durability, 4 energy, 6 fighting skill, 4 intelligence, 3 speed, and 5 strength. He's 6'11" and 425 pounds. So it seems
Dang.
like he could be a good, like, minor villain to me. He's
Yeah.
not too strong, but he's also enough of a challenge.
I hope people think I have more than a 5 intelligence.
he has connection to the Red Room and the Weapons X program. Interesting.
Well, I like that idea because that would really mean we're diving deeper into mutants and X-Men if we're going into Weapon X program and stuff like that.
And the
That'd be
Red
cool.
Room is going to be featured in Black Widow.
Right.
So that'll be interesting. Yeah, so you can tell them apart because Omega Red has his fraternity on his head.
So
I definitely don't think that we've seen the true villain of the episode, the series.
yeah, I'm guessing does that make Zemo kind of like the minor villain?
I would say so.
Like Omega Red kind of. And these are all just rumors, I believe, right? We don't actually know that Omega Red's
Yeah.
going to be in it, but
I
I
don't
wouldn't
know
be
that you
surprised if
could-
Zemo's a miniature villain.
I don't know that you could say that necessarily because as far as as far as I know, Omega Red and Zemo wouldn't have any connection to each other.
As far as you know, yes.
So
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, Omega Red's like the mastermind or like the major villain. I think they'd probably be like,
You think they're equals?
yeah,
That's possible.
But from what I had heard, and I don't know how true this is, but like we were gonna get more like Hydra stuff, right? In this show, or at least some major villains that were in Hydra in the comics.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Well, Zemo was one, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's
Zemo.
what
he was.
not even
Zemo wasn't Hydra though.
Well, not in the
No,
movies.
he was
Not in the movies.
Oh, yeah. I don't know comic books.
In the comics, that's what I'm saying. Like some villains that were Hydra in the comics, they don't necessarily have to be Hydra anymore.
It's true.
Like,
And
weren't they
Hydra
talking about?
the way of the dinosaur?
Weren't they talking about MODOK? Or like that was rumored.
MODOK. Was it rumored? Or was that
Thought I
just me?
remember hearing something about.
I had rumors about MODOK for WandaVision, but that came out to be completely wrong.
Just a little.
I mean,
MODOK was. I think they determined MODOK was just too hard to try to do live action, so I think he's going to feature more, like in his own stuff that's more cartoony. Like he just doesn't fit with what they're trying to do. Because when I talk about, hey, I want my Falcon and Winter Soldier to be grounded in reality, like obviously you got superhero elements and different villains that we've seen, and they still managed to ground it somewhat in reality. But MODOK is just way off the scale.
Well, I kind of wonder if there's a way to redesign his character that wouldn't upset the hardcore fans. That would make him more realistic looking and not as comic booky. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I have no attachment to him, so I don't know if I'm the one to say. But like, I would be completely fine if they adapted his look and his backstory to like a more like realistic. A more realistic thing, less comic booky feel.
Yeah,
and they were able to do that with like Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like
they do that with every superhero. Like, and I know some of them are more realistic than others, but like, the outfits that they wear, like the costumes, and sometimes their powers get changed a little bit, like just to make it more cinematic and less like it's a comic book.
And Joa said they could always make MODOK's face a screen? ?
It's true, like a big screen.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
I don't know.
Josh, did you say you wanted?
Yeah, Ezra, did you get to what you were hoping? I know you said less magic-y, less super.
One thing that I think they kind of dropped the ball on, which was a big part of the Avengers phase 1 or phase 2, doesn't matter, was the Sokovia Accords. They never really went anywhere with that. It was a big thing. They had Civil War, and then after that, like what? So I think with this show, I think they have to explore that, like what it actually means for heroes post Endgame, because I feel like after the snap, it wasn't really enforced.
Yeah, because the world needed a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think post blip, I think they need to explore what the Sokovia Accords will mean for these heroes. And I know they're rumored to bring US Agent into the show. So
well, yeah, they are. That's true.
Which he's a superhero. Basically, he's kind of just like Captain America, but he is directly controlled by the government, like a soldier.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell is playing John Walker, who was US Agent.
Yes.
So
it, and I don't know if he's set up to be like kind of an anti-hero or like, but anyway, I think they will ultimately explore like how the governments are going to play, like what role they're going to play in superheroes and regulating them. So I know that might not be the most interesting thing for some people, but like it's one of those elements that makes the universe more grounded in reality, to me at least, and I find it interesting. But that's coming from a guy who liked the space politics in Star Wars, so
it's possible. I like that idea too, though, because you're right. They really didn't. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there was a little bit about the Accords because they had to have the list, or I forget what they called it. I don't think they just called it a list, but the database or whatever, where they kind of tracked everything, and they were restricted by the ATCU and all that kind of stuff. So I think it wouldn't be like out of place at all.
Yeah.
So Kyle, what were you hoping to see?
So just besides the grounded in realism, I had said I really wanted some campiness from Batroc the Leaper.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that. Yeah. That was it.
That's kind of it.
Easy to please.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say I want to hold my theory after Josh says whatever he's gonna say. I wanna let you guys have my theory, which will be fun. So.
Okay.
All
so
right.
I have three things. One of them was kind of touched on. Two of them were not.
Wait, I thought you started with two things.
I know. I added.
Because Kyle and I both held up 2 fingers.
Three. One goes along with what Ezra said, though. I don't want this one to go Harry Potter. I want it to stay with superheroes and superpowers, and not get into the mystical, magical arts of fantasy
Hogwarts.
or anything like that. Hogwarts. Yeah. Number 2, I want to get a replacement. I want to get a replacement for Cap. I would like the story to flesh that out. I would like at the end of the 6 episodes to say whether someone is really picking up the mantle or someone is kind of going to be in that acting role, to know who it's going to be going forward. Whether it's going to be U.S. Agent or whether it's going to be some character that we haven't seen yet. We know how Disney does things, and they're not giving us much in the trailer. So we're missing stuff for sure. It'd be really, really, really cool if it ended up being Cap who plays Cap. Like somehow Chris Evans comes back and he's in the right timeline and he's like, yeah, I'm back, and give me that shield. Maybe through multiverse, who knows what. Anyways, and I also want to set up a villain that's going to continue on into the movies, not like we got with WandaVision where we get Agatha Harkness. She's not going to be some super villain that's going to go anywhere that further than WandaVision. I would like to get a villain in this that we can actually see in a movie, maybe set up a big baddie that's coming.
You want like a Thanos type cameo or something?
Yeah, something that gives us a direction as to where they're going with the next big bad guy.
Well, it's funny that you say that. I do think that not the show WandaVision, but at least the very end credit scene sets up Wanda as a villain, I think.
That would kind of stink, I think.
I don't think it will. Necessarily, but
we already said that that's kind of grounded in comics, where she is the villain in the House of M series.
Yeah,
but they've established, this is why I say it stinks, they've established in WandaVision that her powers are magical. I don't want more magical in Marvel movies. So if she becomes the next big bad guy, then we basically have the villain from Harry Potter as the next big bad guy. And I don't want that.
The only reason that I would want it is because throughout all of WandaVision and our live streams on it, I had absolutely 0 theories that were correct. No matter how hard I argued Ezra on everything, I was wrong every single time. But it would validate me because in our next big baddie thing, I said Wanda as the next big villain. That's the only reason I want it, is so I can be right one time this year. Just once.
That wasn't the point of what I was saying.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's fine. You can say that. what I was trying to get, I don't think she's going to be the big baddie. I think she's going to be the baddie for Multiverse of Madness. So what the point of why I'm saying this is because I think that how they're doing these shows is ultimately they want to set up more backstory for movies going forward. I think that is the goal with these miniseries. Is this one a miniseries, or is it, because it's only 6 episodes is done then, right? Just like
I think it's a miniseries, but I'm not 100% sure. On IMDb, it does say miniseries.
Yeah, so it probably is done after the 6 episodes, which is fine. I think what they're using these miniseries is to do is to set up like some context for movies. That way they don't have to have the whole, like, if they have some real big reveal in a movie, they don't have to dedicate a whole hour to like setting it up necessarily.
It's true.
So
yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was gonna just kind of recap what our wants were, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think this is what we're gonna see going forward from Marvel. I don't think when it comes to Disney Plus or anything that we're gonna consider TV. I know it doesn't feel like any of this is TV anymore because of the streaming, but I just think if we get anything that's would be more serialized, it's only going to be a mini series. I think they're going to try to stay away from like a recurring series. Just like they haven't had much success with recurring series.
Which I think is unfortunate because like I was so engrossed with WandaVision. Like it was really compelling because I thought it was like kind of like a mystery, like some sci-fi like mystery TV show, and it every week we talked for hours about it, right? And like I was ultimately disappointed with the conclusion, but like it made me want to watch another television show that kept I watched, it kept me guessing. So I started watching Lost again. And like, why can't TV be like Lost? Like, why can't we have like an actual serialized Marvel television show that I actually look forward to tuning into every week?
And so that goes with
what Joa,
right now? Joa and you have been saying. Please make Hawkeye a full show. So
can we stop with the Lost? I loved Lost.
Oh boy.
Great. Nostalgia for Lost? Sure. Wanting more shows like Lost that start off great, but you don't get a satisfying ending whatsoever? Are you serious?
I don't think Ezra. I don't. Okay, so here's the thing: is I don't think Ezra is talking about the ending of the show. I think Ezra's talking about the fact that every week you watched, it was a mystery. It was, you were adding questions, and you weren't always getting a resolution until like farther down the line. The way Lost ended, arguably, is really bad. But the show itself, was great, Kyle.
The point, yes, exactly.
Until it ended. Yes.
Okay, so just don't let it end, Kyle.
But then you never got answers to very important, crucial things. All
right, I see hit the heated topic here, but to the point where you can't even understand what I'm trying to get at here.
I get you though, Ez.
That's what I'm talking about is like I'd like to see a show that isn't just like a mini series. I think it's, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It seems like they're playing it safe. I'd like them to take like a bigger risk.
Yeah,
but if it's a mini series that sets up content for the MCU at large, and they can come back and do more stories.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is what I think I'm trying to get at, right? I don't think we need a Falcon Winter Soldier miniseries. If you're gonna only do 6 episodes, just make it a movie. Make it maybe longer than a normal movie, maybe a 3-hour movie or whatever. That's fine. But let me finish. But like, it's honestly, TV shows like that don't really tell any story more efficiently than a movie would. It's kind of, they give themselves a little bit more time, but they're going to end up not utilizing it as effectively as like a movie would. So it's going to be the same amount of like story that like we might get from a Falcon Winter Soldier movie, but it's going to be more spaced out and have more fluff in it.
So I'm 50-50 with everything you just said there. So I 100% agree. We need another Marvel show. I think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did a good job of introducing new characters kind of on their own. So I think that when they do series, if they do like another TV show, it should be new characters kind of start from scratch. But then you said you don't think it does as good, the shows do as good job telling like one story. But I would argue that WandaVision would not have been a good movie, because I think part of what made it good was that break, that suspense every episode. If your suspense is only going to last you another 4 seconds into the show, and I think it makes those transitions between those episodes like harsher too, where just all of a sudden you go from 60s to 70s and the 70s to 80s over the course of 2 seconds, rather than having a week and a whole like time passes in the show kind of thing to adjust to it. So that's why I'm like 50-50 on what you said. I love the idea of having a Marvel show, but I don't think that necessarily the miniseries are bad. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier could do a good job setting up a movie, but I think we need a separate Marvel TV show that we get like a season of every year, sort of like we're getting a season of Mando every year. Is my idea.
I agree. The thing about like, and I wish I had the words to like try to explain what I'm trying to say, but like WandaVision felt a lot more like Lost than this Winter Soldier Falcon show is going to, and I just know it. The way I see it is this is essentially going to be a movie, like in a TV format. Whereas like,
I think this one will be a lot more than Wanda was. Yes.
The serialized nature of WandaVision played into the suspense. You're right, but like I don't think this is going to be like that. Like,
yeah, I see what you mean.
It's good to give us something to wait for, whereas WandaVision felt a little bit more instant gratification that I would have liked. I think if they had really drawn it out over a couple of years, that would have been a lot better, I think, because the way I feel it is there was a lot of suspense with that show, but it was really only what like 2 or 3 months that the whole thing transpired. And I felt like at the end it got rushed because how many loose ends they needed to tie up.
Yes. At
the end it was like, here's the answer to this, and here's the answer to this, and here's the answer to this. You know what I mean? Whereas like if they did space it out, they could have still made the show satisfying, like kind of how Lost did. It would answer questions and then ask new ones for next time. Like, I don't know, that's what I'd like to see out of a TV show. Or like the way that Clone Wars, because like that's another TV show that I really like, and it's not like Lost. If you're gonna do this kind of, it's because this TV show isn't going to be like a thriller or like a, what would you even call it, like a mystery. It's not going to be like that. It's probably going to be more geared toward like, help me out here. It's like I think the feel, like if they wanted to drag it out, they could make it feel a little bit more like Clone Wars.
I don't know how well that would work with like a hero that is going to be intermixed with the movies versus if you do something like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and build all new characters is what I'm thinking.
This was my thought when they announced the shows, which WandaVision being an exception. But my thought was, okay, they're taking these more grounded, less cosmic powered superheroes and giving them their own shows, and then they're going to save the movies for like the cosmic power ones.
Yeah.
So why not just do that? Why not just let Falcon and Winter Soldier have a TV show? Like they can handle Earth threats, the
Yeah.
war against Hydra or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and have it a more serialized like.
That's true. I like that idea.
Instead of
they're not going to be able to contend with Cosmic. So splitting up Earth and the Cosmic, like storylines, I think would be good. Yeah.
And I know for a fact that this is going to have to be paced like a movie. It's not going to be, like the Clone Wars, they'd give you 3 episodes about one mission or like a 6-episode story arc.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be like that. It's going to be one arc because there's only 6 episodes. It has to be paced like a movie is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But it's going to be paced like an inefficient movie because they have more time than they would in a movie.
It's going to be paced like a James Cameron movie.
Yeah.
You guys have been very quiet.
Who? What?
Josh was ignoring us.
Well, Ezra has had a lot to say.
I've had a lot to say. I've been thinking about it a lot.
One thing that I've seen our listeners saying is that they'd like to see longer episodes.
Yes.
I agree with that. I mean, 45 minutes maybe, hour episodes. That would be kind of nice. I thought WandaVision was a little short, although the first 2 didn't feel too short. First 2 or 3 didn't feel too short, but once they actually started getting into the real story, 30 minutes felt short.
And how many episodes of WandaVision were there? There were
9.
9? 9 times 30 minutes is...
Okay. I'm adding something to Josh's want list, so this is gonna be item number 5 or 6 or something.
You can't add to my want list.
Oh, Josh, trust me. Josh does not want 10 minutes of credits.
No,
yeah,
that is true.
Well, we're gonna get it anyway
because
they have to do it in every single language.
For every language that ever existed. No, thank you.
It should be easy enough to be like, okay, these are English listeners. They've chosen the English subtitles or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
in
just
Disney,
show them the English. I don't know, it blows my mind. Okay, but like what I was saying, so 270 minutes for WandaVision. Is that not like maybe a super long movie, but like the length of a movie? Like
how long is I'm thinking Avatar is probably in like the 230 range is my guess.
Yeah, but so, and yes, the suspense did play into the suspense of having it serialized did play into how successful it was, I think. But
okay, no, James, even Avatar, which is a long movie, is only 1.6 hours. So that's
Wait a second. Avatar was only 1.6 hours?
That's what the internet said.
No, that doesn't sound right.
It doesn't sound right to me either, but
I think Avatar was like a 3-hour movie.
What re-release?
Oh, 2 hours 42 minutes. What the heck was? Oh, maybe that was showing me like Avatar: Last Airbender stuff. 2 hours 42. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Still, that's only 200 minutes.
It could have been cut like a movie, and they could have just this is what I'm expecting out of this show. It's going to be a movie, just cut into 30-minute long segments and serialized.
Endgame was 3 hours.
Yeah.
Endgame was 3 hours and 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the way.
When you watch Avatar feels like a long movie. Endgame does not.
It's true. But that's because time travel. They introduced time travel.
Fair.
Oh, that's what it is.
All right. So
you get actually sucked into a wormhole in that movie.
Are we ready for theory time?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I have no reason to believe this would ever come true. I started thinking about it on the way home, but I obviously did not give it enough thought, as I do with all of my theories. But we're going to be introduced to Chadwick Boseman's replacement in this series for the new Black Panther. And that new Black Panther is Bucky.
He's the White Wolf.
He's a super soldier. He's spent time in Wakanda. They've given him his arm. They gave him his rehab. He spent a lot of time in that culture and community. Why not?
So, question.
Answer.
Does that mean in this series we get the death of the original Black Panther?
I don't know. Maybe
Or I
they
guess
give
it
him
wouldn't
like
be the
White Wolf,
original
like
because
I don't know.
But what is his name? T'Challa?
T'Challa, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was just thinking about it. I'm like, this could be a way to set that up where he becomes Black Panther, because we know that, I don't know, Zuri doesn't, or Shuri, whatever, doesn't really want to be queen, but she could still maybe pass on the Black Panther role to somebody who has the super strength and regenerative properties that the heart-shaped herb would have given, which still kind of holds the Black Panther mantle. I don't know. That was just my thought. What say you, Kyle? I thought you'd have more.
I like that. I actually kind of like it.
So while I think normally that would be like a very, very, very Kyle type theory.
I take that as a compliment.
I'm just gonna throw it out there that I feel like I don't think that'd be well received in the mainstream at
Yeah,
all.
you might be right.
You still think it's too soon?
For a lot of reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean,
what was the
story-wise, I don't mind that idea, but I know what Kyle is saying.
Yeah.
And I could see that.
I get it. I just thought it would be an interesting thing to bring in. Maybe we do still get Black Panther, and maybe it is Shuri. Like, maybe we see her in this film, because we know that they've spent a lot of time in Wakanda. So
even
But
even Chase is calling it a film.
what do you want from me?
What do you?
I'm not against it. I'm just saying even Chase is calling it a film.
That's essentially what a mini series is. It's
Yeah.
a longer movie. Pretty much any mini series, like it's just edited like a longer movie and it's just
Yeah.
broken up.
But still, either way, that's film miniseries besides the point. I don't know. I just thought it would be an interesting way to bring that in. And in some of the scenes, it's like you get like those rock formations and the like very orange and browns. Like you could very much be in Wakanda. I don't know. You're muted,
You're
Kyle.
muted.
You're still muted.
Kyle.
Muted.
Yeah, I was like I said, normally I would think that's a very Kyle style
Yeah.
theory. I really don't see that coming to fruition. But it's not bad. Like just from a creative standpoint, like that's definitely that's all.
All right. Well, I think that's pretty much everything. So let us know what you want from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And we're going to actually be talking about episode 1 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier a week from today on our live stream. So be sure to subscribe so that you get a notification when that goes live. And so we'd love to hear from you. And thanks for joining us, those who were in our chat room. We appreciate that. And there was a lively conversation over there during this episode. So thanks for that. And until next time, the legacy of that shield is come.